And I can monitor on here. Because I can't really see the video here, but I can see the chat here. And this will tell me if I have any buffering problems from YouTube. Oh, there's some people showing up. Good day, everybody, and welcome back to the Commonwealth. As the title suggests, this week we are moving on from Nordhagen Beach. I have not chosen to new location yet. We have room to come back here in the future, like I said, but currently there is not a abundance of settlers available at my staging point at the drive-in, and I currently have all of the jobs covered here. Let's just open up the build menu. I have 9 people. I have 21 beds, which should cover any potential settlers that come in here. We have 6 food being created here, but we are on a provision route, so that's not a downside. We are only currently producing 13 water. We can increase that if we add in the future. And although we only have 5 power, we're only running lights, so we don't need to produce more power than that. So now it's time to decide. They seem to be fairly happy. Where are we off to next? Barbarian, Groucho, happy to see you guys. Happy Sunday to you. Well, happy Saturday to Groucho. Happy Sunday to Mr. King, because it's about to be Sunday at your home. I flat out refuse to build at the airport, so if anybody was about to suggest that, no. I have County Crossing, Finch Farm. We will not be building in the Mechanist Lair because I have a dearth of ideas for that location. Sunshine Tidings is undone. Abernathy Farm is undone. Did we build at 10 Pines? I remember Sar built at 10 Pines, but I don't think I did. Outpost Zima. We already built at coastal. Breakheart Banks is not a settlement. Green Top is just a mess. Taffington Boathouse is still open. So if anyone has any suggestions, I am willing to listen. I know that there is a YouTube delay, so I'm not going to advance too quickly on this topic. If you hear a door opening and closing repeatedly throughout the stream, don't fret. My youngest daughter is here to do some laundry before she has to run off to work. I know that none of you are assuming my dogs grew thumbs, but yeah, Groucho, they would have noticed if you had missed an entire day. So well, King is happy with anything. Groucho didn't give us a suggestion. So why don't we look at something? I don't want to build at Sunshine because SAR is there right now, and he's knocking it out of the park, and I'd prefer you guys to forget about his build before I build there. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Hey, dog. Good seeing you. Jamaica Plain or County Crossing? Well, let's see. Jamaica Plain is cleared and is a railroad safe house in this playthrough. I'm not sure if I built anything there. We can go take a look. Let's go see what's going on at Jamaica Plain. And somebody try and remind me before the end of the stream to go back to Nordhagen and take down my observation post so that I don't have random settlers standing on roofs. Okay, it looks like all I put here was defenses and some water. No, I put a heck of a lot of power here. What? Oh! This is where I did my, I was wondering where all the power was here for. Jeesh. Definitely don't need this again. So that's going to get scrapped if we build here. Didn't do anything inside the house. There's still just a sleeping bag here. Should only be one bed in that case. There are 3 beds. Where are the other 2 beds? I don't recall. Oh, there they are. I put sleeping bags down here. Okay. We'll be able to recover some of those generators and take them out because we're no longer powering the giant machine of doom. This is definitely a viable alternative. Wait, that's Codsworth.
Codsworth.
Shall I accompany you, Mum?
I'm more interested in where the heck are you going?
No, not now.
All right, then.
That's the railroad guy, right? Yeah, that's the railroad guy. Why is Codsworth out here? Zero people assigned, so it's not him being assigned here. Slight detour for a minute, guys. I'm going to see where Codsworth is going. Because the last time I knew where he was Sanctuary. And he seems to be out on walkabout. He's probably going to drag me into combat somewhere if I follow him, but... Hey, Dalton! Happy Saturday, sir. I use scrap all here via console command with several build and settlement expansion mods. It took all the floors, doors, foundation out except the town hall. I couldn't enter the basement. Yikes. Stopped to read the chat, and I lost Codsworth. Where'd you go, buddy? Did you go up this way and turn? Where is he? There he is. Where is he going? He's not assigned here.
Loss and lack of good groundskeeping has done this place in more than any bomb.
Okay, well that's that's awesome.
This Smirnova might be worth poking our beaks in some of these buildings.
Well, I just realized that he used my name.
Miss Smirnova, perhaps we ought to take a gander in one of these buildings.
I didn't know he could say the last name. I know I chose the first name because he was able to say it, so I mean, I knew that. But I didn't think he'd be able to say the last name. There, I stuck my nose inside the building.
What a lovely neighborhood.
What is he doing here? That's bothering me. Let's go look at County Crossing and see what the build area looks like up there. Yeah, Groucho, I think he does want to stretch his thrusters a little bit. Hey, Brookie. Okay, so we've got a lot of scrapping to do if we build here. But everybody
Well,
knows that we have to
this is a
scrap here.
fine and dandy town.
It, wow, he is really bothering me being here. I feel like I'm never going to be able to find him again if I let him wander away.
Miss Smirnova, might be worth poking our beaks in some of these buildings.
I'm kind of getting tired of hearing him say my name now. They just keep saying the same thing over and over again. Yeah, he is just wandering the perimeter here.
Loss and lack of good groundskeeping have done this place in more than any bomb.
So apparently that's... He's decided he wants to be here. Good old county crossing. You know me, Brookie, I woke up breathing, so I have nothing to complain about. Hope you're well as well. No, Brookie, we traveled over to Jamaica Plain because it was a suggested build point. Now we're over at County Crossing because it's the other suggested build point. We're not going to do much more with Nordhagen at this time, but we can always revisit if my settlement numbers start increasing again. My settler numbers, I should say. This place is defended, has water, obviously has food, has only the original 2 people, random experiences accrued. That's awesome. There's Doc Weaver. I don't see his mercenaries anywhere. Maybe they're off killing something and I got credit for it. Their happiness is stable at 60 right now. Dog stuck in a loop. That's better. Stop sneezing, big guy. Alright, so we all know the location fairly well. There's a few limitations on building out here. We don't want to take out the farm plot at all. But there's no actual farming done in this back section, so I can make this area smaller to take advantage of this area back here if we want to build. We have the Phantom Water Gathering. Excellent. We can attempt to do some rebuilding here at the original house. Maybe the current residents would be excited to have a place rebuilt here. So that's an option. Can get rid of quite a bit of this trash. So that's good. Can certainly move this turret and perhaps put a large generator on the back of this truck or on the front of the truck. I mean, we just did that in the other place, so it would be repetitive, but could do that. Apparently, I can scrap their current hovel if I choose to, so that's good. We'll have to wait till they wake up to find out if we can do anything about their beds. If they're stuck assigned to those beds, we'll be limited in what we can do with them there. Hi, Claire. Yeah, that dog definitely needs a bowl of chicken soup. I agree with you there. Or at least a chicken. So, County Crossing is a little bit more plain, but has different potential. Jamaica is very busy and currently has Codsworth unexplainably hanging out there. All right, dog. I'm glad you knew the answer to that, because some settlements, we all know, the settlers are assigned to their beds, and they will go back to the bed no matter what you do with them. So, I'm glad you knew that these guys can be reassigned. So I can get rid of their hovel altogether, if I choose to. Looks like we've got a patrol coming down the street, or nope, that's one of my provisioners. Where's the machine gun fire from?
Huh?
I don't see any gunfights in the distance, so I'm assuming that was a very short-lived firefight. Okay. Maybe somebody was fighting over near the satellite array. Yeah, these houses are... I feel like they built them and then resized them for the use as destroyed terrain. I can't quite put my finger on why they're so off-sized, but they are definitely very much off-sized. It's also possible that, they just put these things together without any thought about the size of the building materials. So, which are you more interested in, guys? County Crossing or Jamaica Plain? Yes, time to go onto the roof and sleep where you belong. Oh yeah, the gunners live on that piece of overpass near Finch Farm. That's not far from here. Might have been hearing some fire over that way. Whatever is going on, I just got some more random experience, so that's interesting. Alright, so Dog would like to see Jamaica Plain. Brookie says County Crossing is fine. Claire says Jamaica Plain. Yeah, it's definitely more of a challenge. Odd-shaped build area and odd-shaped buildings. King just wants to see some building get started, I can tell. So, so far it's 2-1 on Jamaica Plain. That would be nice if those two would just whittle their own ranks down by fighting each other, wouldn't it, Groucho? Not many people stream at County Crossing, you're right. It's a square build area, and there's not a lot to do here, but there is stuff to do here. It's not... It's not just a devoid location, and these two are obviously well equipped to handle their jobs. But that's about it. One of the challenges is going to be this fire pit and the area immediately around it. Doc Weaver is going to stop here even if I cover it over. And he's going to sit on the ground around it, even if there's furniture there, so... Well, as Doc Weaver is here and not going anywhere... We can see the areas that he sits in. Where are his bodyguards is what I'm wondering. That doesn't make sense that they're not with him unless they got killed somewhere. I don't see their bodies in the immediate area, so they didn't get killed here, right? If I recall correctly, his bodyguards can be killed, but he can't. Yeah, his bodyguards aren't in the immediate area, so... Well, he doesn't really sit on the ground anyway. He sits just off the ground. But I like having him here so you can see the areas that him and his group will sit in, which probably could cover this area with 2 floors that he uses. So that's not a big deal. Dog, I can delete the fireplace. That doesn't stop him from coming here unless I find the tag on the ground, which I don't think I'm going to find that. Oh, NPC sit on ground. I can see that. So I could try to get rid of the NPC sit on grounds, but Doc Weaver is supposed to come here on a regular basis, so... Yeah, the bodyguards could have hit the floor. That's right. Let the bodyguards hit the floor. It doesn't flow right, though. Mermelnir, welcome aboard. Okay, so we need to do something dark side. I think because we got the 2 votes for Jamaica Plain and it's a more complex build, we're going to go back there. And hopefully next time we're down here at County Crossing, we will not have to work around Doc Weaver. And that'll also give me some time to research whether or not Doc Weaver will stop coming here if I remove the sit locations, because I don't want him to stop doing his normal routine of coming here, but And Codsworth is still hanging out here, so without being assigned. So let's start cleaning up this area. I know I'm going to need at least a generator, but I'm definitely not going to need a teleporter. So let's assume I'm going to need one large generator. And I can always adjust that at a later time if I feel the need. I'd like to keep this newsstand and trash barrel here, but we'll see how our build goes. Because as you know, as we build up in the area... Oh. Because I can get rid of these planks, I definitely am. Because they will interfere with things on the ground hardcore. Oh look, it's a ghoul ambush. Okay, we have somewhat cleaner area to start with. I'm wondering if I should try and keep some cars. Can always move them and scrap them at a later date. Use them as barricades to keep people from being able to enter just any old way they want to. That just doesn't look right at all. Somebody's really shooting it up somewhere near here. I was hoping that putting it on the hood of this one, physics would make it fall like that. But apparently that's not how that's going to work today. Yeah, it's a stack of cars to... I might have to blow this one up in order to do that. Because I think that the ones that still have paint are dangerous. Which means this one is dangerous too. There we go. Help if Rob hit the right buttons. Okay, let the fire burn out, so I'm not going to burn or irradiate myself. That fight is really close by. It's amazing how quickly these fights develop. Who are you all fighting? Alright, get some HP back. Now let me shoot that. What the heck is that? Oh. That solves that problem.
Should have just run.
Oh, of course they should have just... It sounded like he was right behind... Oh, there he is. Of course they should have just run. But if they had just...
This is a real blow to the railroad.
It is? You just won the fight. Did I miss something?
Patriot. He'll never get to.
I
Okay.
never even got to meet him. Patriot saved so many cents.
Did I miss something? Because I didn't see, ooh, high-powered shredding minigun, I'll take that. I didn't see Patriot's body around here anywhere.
I never even got to meet him.
Patriot. He'll never get to.
He'll never get to. Yeah, the kid in the Institute who was freeing the synths from the inside was Patriot. But I don't see his body here anywhere, so and the Institute is destroyed, so I don't see what the link is to this firefight.
Shit, we got company!
What the? Justice for you.
Eh, I must be losing it. There he is. Get my Mirelurk meat. Yeah, I didn't know Patriot was dead, if he is, and if he's not, or if he shouldn't be, I should have at least gotten some kind of clue. Then again, you know, I'm forgetful. They could have told me. Let's build us a place to live for people who have nowhere to go.
What a lovely neighborhood.
Yeah, sure, Cods. Repair car. No. I have to repair it if I want to move it. Or I can scrap it. Okay, so that tells me more than I knew a minute ago. To make them static, I have to blow them up, but blowing them up means I can't move them. Let's get a bunch of trash and leaves out of the way. Now the dumpster actually looks like we've been throwing trash in it, instead of just everything piled up around it. You know, that's entirely possible. I have not been back to see the railroad since I finished the main quest. So if he did self-delete, and I wouldn't have noticed. The other pile of leaves was more in the way than this one is. And I could take it, but I can't take that pile. Okay, so pile of leaves, pile of leaves. Let's get inside and start getting rid of some of this carp. Help wanted sticker. They're trying to tell us that was the door that was there. But that door doesn't operate, so there's no point in keeping it. Debris. I'm cautious about removing the debris around where I put my water pump because I don't know if the water pump would... if I'd be able to put another water pump there if I needed to. 'cause I have a feeling the reason I was able to put that there is because of the debris and trash. Currently need to figure out what we'll be keeping and what we'll be leaving. Okay. This can move. That up there for now. It's out of the way now. I can potentially rebuild here. They had a window there. I'd like to assume they'd have a window on this side as well. What size are those pieces? Are those... Those are going to be taller than a regular wall, aren't they? Yep, those are barn-sized pieces. Okay. Elena, good to see you. And Luca? True, Doug. I could put a planter there if getting rid of the trash prevented me from doing that. Good thinking. And it's not going to stop producing water. Well, now it's going to stop producing water. But, I could potentially put it... I'm going to need more water than that for a realistic settlement anyway, so... We have a, workshop here. Would be interesting if I could make a like a little power armor garage down here, and then have the second floor built up as a separate space. We'll need a place for everybody to drink some happiness water. Trash can, good to decorate with. Pick-me-up truck, or picker-up truck, to use the language of the environment. This is definitely a doable living space. And potentially, I mean, I could just remove that and put a regular door piece in there. So that's an option. Let's get some flooring on the second floor. The object is to get it placed correctly and then snap to it. See how that's really close. And how close, it's really close here too. So I think that is... Now this one needs an angled piece, which I don't think this flooring set has. Or does it need an angled piece? No, it can use a regular square piece. Second floor is intact now. Debris, and that extends outside too. There we go. That's... We're going to end up having to put a new window in place there. I'm going to turn my mic off for a second. Be right back. I'm back. My youngest is trying to figure out what her work schedule is, and my wife needs to run errands, so they're trying to figure out what to do, and if I'm going to be available to drive her, and I will, but after a stream, so... Yeah. Life goes on, right? Everybody has to figure it all out. King, I found that the easiest one to line up is right on this section right here. But you have to be able to turn snapping off to get it to sink below the floor, unless you're using the fire pit trick. And once this one is lined up, if you've got this far edge lined up, well, essentially on target. This one is actually a little bit short, but it comes close enough that you can't really tell that the wall is off. Yeah, once the parts are lined up, this part here is lined up, snapping to it. For some reason I was thinking this was angled, but I guess it's because that corner was missing is why I was feeling that way. Here, I'm going to sleep in the rain. The only reason that worked, King, is because I can turn snapping, surface snapping off. The thing I like about the snap points here, though, is this floor will snap inside this one if you have something completely outside the floor to snap to. So that does make it very much a useful tool here in the arsenal. Okay, let's see if we can get some good brick structure pieces. The hardest wall to work with is this one over here. If you can get that up. Now, here's the... It doesn't line up on that hole. But you can remove this. And that'll give you... That's not going to be any bueno. No bueno. And let me explain why. If I put that there, or anywhere other than at floor level in here, you're going to hit your head and not be able to walk through that door, because that's how high it's going to be. You'd have to crouch to get through. So instead of doing it that way, I'm going to block off that wall and make it two separate structures. The upstairs here will get entry through here or over there. Or even over here. I could put a balcony and staircase out this side. That's a single piece in that corner. And I need to turn the snappy off. Because if I snap that there, it's going to be short of the actual exterior wall. That's the only place that becomes obvious, though. I could delete out this wall entirely, and it would be a little less obvious. It would look like we tore it down and rebuilt it. Slacker, how's it going? You know, I think I'm just gonna take the plunge and hope for the best. Put that one there. And that one there. And that one there. Looks like a little bit of repair work with the rubble that was already here. Somewhat convincing. I could put a staircase over here to make it an indoor staircase. Let's do something with the floor here. I can snap to those pieces, and I can remove these pieces. So let's go ahead and do that. And that one just doesn't want to go for love nor money. That one will. And the dirt shows through. Isn't that lovely? So I could put an internal staircase right here. And not do any external stairs. Or I can do the external stairs here. And I'm thinking I want to do the external stairs just to keep this as a large space. Yeah, because if they were doing an actual repair shop here, they'd need to have a fairly big space. For the time being, we're going to need to put a staircase there. Now let's get some walls built up here. Now for the tricky part. This angle does not really like this angle does not really like being built, and I don't think the extended textures come with that wide piece with the angled snap points. But you could go straight across here. And make this its own little patio area. Now for the really tricky part. Will that accept one of these? It will. So if I can do that, where's the other one of those? Come on, Kit. Don't let me down now. There it is. If I can do that and put a roof piece on it, that's way better. And there we have a somewhat rebuilt shop. Debating about that piece right there. I could take that down and put some railing there, or I can leave it as is. It's more of a defensive balcony than a patio, but if I take that down, I have to take that down, because otherwise it'll look hokey. Brookie, you're right. The roof would have had to have been a flat roof if the diagonal wall had been in place. And then I even would have had to have used different roofing altogether. I would have probably had to use the concrete tab roofing, because I think that's the only one that has the angled piece. So let's do a quick save here. Not a quick save, but a save. And see what this looks like with railings instead. Because I think it might look better with some railings. well as see. If I do that, how does that look from the outside? Looks kind of good to me. Let's get rid of this pile of debris. And it looks like we used that pile of bricks to build what we built. Along with the pieces that we tore down from there. Yeah. I really think that I'm kind of liking that. What's going on here? Gonna need to put something there to hide that. 'Cause that is just blatantly too sharp of a straight line. This looks fine in here, though. Okay, so we know that we need to move that. No, I want you on the outside. I don't need the full size. Let's go to that one. And then this can go on here. You're not going to snap, are you? Really? There we go. It's a place to go to at the end of his hard day working on the power armor. Well, I was worried about my leaving gaps in the building. Hello, Bethesda. Really, guys? You're that craptastic. And it's the entire railing and everything. The railing, the porch. Alright, I'm not beating myself up over decisions. Anymore. Nope. Gonna have to hide their mess-ups, too. Okay, we got a nice big place to live. Nice big place to work. A little relaxed place. Maybe we make the upstairs a bar instead of a place to live. Use the house as the living space. And use this as a bar above the shop. There, that should be all nice and comfy for somebody. No, that's not how I'm going to leave their house. As Sardeliak pointed out the other day, well, several times in the last few weeks actually, the happiness equation is a bar, a defense, and a single person. Now, I can't control him. He's the guy from the railroad. But I could put a couple of little tables out here, put a bar in here, a couple of tables in here, maybe some booths along one of these walls. This would make a nice place for a gathering. I'm going to need to support that somehow. And being we're doing the whole brick routine, let's do it with these guys. Okay. Gonna need to turn object snap off. That one can stay where it is, and then this one over here. That one gets kind of in the way, doesn't it? So and object snap back on. And it's supported. I don't remember. Is doors work normally on this door frame? No, they do not. You have to place them manually. They do work normally on the on this frame.
Mr. Vanova, perhaps we ought to take a gander at one of these buildings.
That one will open in, if I'm not mistaken. Excellent. So that takes no room away from out here. No real usable room in here. And this takes
Well, this is
and blocks off the view of Bethesda's screw-up here. And as we know, the settlers are never going to close a door. That hides that pretty well.
Well, this isn't a fine and dandy town.
Fine and dandy town indeed, Codsworth. Indeed.
What a lovely neighborhood.
Ah, Christian. Glad to have you here, Christian.
Nova might be worth poking our beaks in some of these buildings.
And if anybody's wondering why you should not have Codsworth with you all the time, that's a good idea right there, because he never shuts up. That door works. Well, other than the fact that it's completely destroyed. This house is almost completely unusable, which, as most of you probably have seen, is why people tend to glitch generators into this porch. I'm tempted to do the same with this generator.
Ross and lack of good groundskeeping has done this place in more than any bomb.
But let us continue our work at making this a bar to be enjoyed. And because I know somebody's going to ask, yes, I have a name for the bar already. Make it the bar that produces the most happiness, of course. Alright, it doesn't necessarily produce more happiness. It does, but that's not the only reason to do it. The other reason is it produces the most caps, which makes me happy. So, it's a win-win situation, you see. I am bringing this neighborhood well up into a standard that most of the current residents can't afford. Then again, as most of the current residents are feral ghouls, do they really deserve the place anyway? This is... Where am I going from here? I think it's furnishings. Cafe, yep. And there is even a Drumlin Diner near here, where they could reasonably have gotten these foods from. There's room for a fourth. There we go. And just one table out here. Actually, I could put a drink machine out here. Now, why don't we do that? We'll put... Stop jumping. Stop. We'll put this over here. neighborhood cappuccino machine. Or espresso, sorry. Or our dispenser. Coffee machine. I could do the Vault 88 building stuff, couldn't I? This is only the pieces, though, isn't it? I have to go search through those furnishings for Vault. Because I'd really like to build that, that's a wired drink machine. Let's just go with, the cafe stuff. If I can remember where I'm getting it from. I have lost my mind. It's not decorations. It's gotta be furnishings, right? If we have this... I can put coffee cups between them. Okay, that one can go further back, so that one can too. There we go. Can put glasses and cups between them. We'll have the bartender here. We'll have people eating here with a couple of highball tables out here. And some stools. Let's get some fanciness going here. It is, after all, a bar. Not even close to centered on that beam, but there we go. Get some power to it. That'll look awfully nice. Some floor lamps over here. Actually, you know what? This one goes over here, because it's the one that's going to be blocked, and it's brighter than the colored one. That'll be more diffused light. Catch up on chat a little bit. Codsworth is an incredible chatterbox. He says something every time he gets near you. And as we should be familiar with my building style, outdoor tables need some candles. All of them actually look kind of centered, except for that one. There we go. Suppose some power needs to be generated and sent over here, and being we've got the generator doing nothing right now, it's almost certainly not staying there, but until we come up with a better place for it, I want to send some power to my house. So let's... Alright, you go there, and there. And that gets me up on there. That should be sufficient power for upstairs. You can move over here, so you're out of my way. That's too far. Alright, get them next to each other, and their spacing after the fact is how you do it. There you go. Now, unless I missed my guess, that's way too far for it to travel. But I have another option here. This sucker can go up here. Be relatively safe from potential attacks. Not safe from falling off of things. What the heck? No, that's not... Wow. Don't try and jump while you're carrying a generator. Okay, we've got a nice place going here. The light isn't too terribly bright. The white light is a little bit brighter, but it's blocked nicely by the door, so, well, mostly by the door. So now we just need some softer lighting. For the rest of the place. And I think actually, do I have any hanging lights that won't cast light down though? How far down will that cast light? It's irrelevant, it's ugly. Yeah. We're going to put some soft light above each table. I would put them closer to the table, but of course the window's in the way. And I know it's too dark to really see anymore, but that helps a little bit with the light. Let's see if I can do the track light thing. Right there to cover the bar area. It would be fun to see them using the video game machines. I don't know if they do or not. I should be testing these.
Perhaps we ought to take a gander in one of these buildings.
The only one I'm really concerned about was this one. Well, that one's a little bit close. I bet I can't sit in that. I can. Wow, this stool lets you get really close to that table. You have to walk through the table to get out of it, but hey. And the entire set is just working. Because it just works. Uh-oh. That one doesn't work. Okay, so that one does not work. It's too close to the corner. So what if I just removed it all together and moved the table into the corner? No. That we'll move the table into the corner. But then we'll put the seats closer to each other. See how that works out for me. Yeah, that works. There we go. We know that this works. I'm gonna have to take a quick break, guys. I will be right back in 3 to 5 minutes. Refill your drinks, grab your snacks, pet your dog.
Nova, perhaps we ought to take a gander at one of these buildings. What a lovely name. What a lack of good groundskeeping has done this place in more than any bomb.
I'm back. Sorry about the spinnies, guys. I think that this is well lit enough. I'm fairly certain that power from that roof line will not reach all the way down here, but let's take a quick look. I think lighting would be a little more industrial down here. This is directly below the both of these are directly below the power points, so this one may not, and it does. Great. That works. Let's get some in-game sleep and get started again when it's light out. Hey, Rush, you're not late. You made it here. Jack? We have some very workshop looking stuff here. We're going to need a couple more of those power armor frames, or at least one more. And I'm thinking this is going to be where the armor stuff is, so take advantage of that nice non-reactive or non-heat reactive flooring. Put this sucker right here. Now we have room for at least one, possibly two armor frames, right? We can put this power armor frame right here. I hope this is the front of this power armor frame. We'll move it forward just a hair to make sure. Then we're going to need some toolboxes laying about. And maybe another bookcase. Every time I see Codsworth outside, I feel like he's sneaking about. How is that short enough to not go through? That just goes through the floor, doesn't it? It sure does. need to be that low to not go through the floor. Okay. That definitely makes it a more interesting looking shelf to me. Try and just break up the way things look the way that they give them to you. And it works pretty well in my book. Diagnostic cart. Might be needing a coolant pump in here. Never know when they might want a step ladder. And of course they need a step ladder because they never met their real ladder. Well, thank you, sir. I really appreciate that. I really like these power armor frames. If I'm not mistaken, that's the one that's up in the Pridwin. And it just really works out a lot nicer looking than these. But I imagine in the civilian world, especially, these would be much more prevalent. Because as you know, lore-wise, the power armor frames were in some instances also used for construction. So there would be civilian use, and they tend to have the older style of equipment when they do have civilian use of those things. When we get around to the in-depth decorating and putting knickknacks around, I'll fill these shelves. But until then, let's make a home out of this house. What does the note say? Hallucinogen. Oh boy, yeah, I'll take that. Don't want anybody reading that and going off and becoming a forever test subject to the happy droid who's running around there.
Are we pack rats now?
Codsworth, don't criticize my collecting things, because I still have no idea why you're here. Okay, we don't need a crib. Replace that dresser. That rug's fine. That's a plywood door over those two windows. Definitely would make some better lighting in here without it, so let's open that up. And let's get some degree of safety at the top of these stairs. Not too much safety, mind you, because this is the post-apocalyptic wasteland. We don't want people feeling too comfortable. And for those of you who are wondering why I maneuver myself when I'm putting these things here, the fine movements on the character are a little bit easier to control than the other joystick. It seems like it moves super fast when I'm using the regular joystick and the holding the button down to try and make it twist left and right. So it's a little bit easier on me. Let's get a couple of relatively nice beds up here. You could actually sleep quite a few people up here. Let's put both these over here. And I can put two kind of nice beds on this side. Fairly sure the headboard is that one. So now they look like the taller one is up against the window. We don't need a bunch of sleeping bags out here right now. Let's store them though, because we'll probably end up using them when we assign guards, because guards don't need a whole lot for their happiness. And let's give them another big dresser. Give them one of the wide ones if I have one. Don't have one, but I can build one. See how the I'm sure that's me, not the game, having the issue. But I'm still having it, so. Okay, we have Codsworth wandering in. Probably wants to say something annoying. Which way you gonna go, buddy? Can I escape from you? Okay. Well, you're gonna hang out over there. I'm gonna start working up here, I guess. I should probably plan on having to get up and down that section up here. So let's see if I can make this more betterer. We know that the attacks on the settlement are going to damage things, even if realistically the attack came nowhere near the object. So why take chances? That way I can get up and down. I can still use the area under here for crops if I decide to plant here, but right now my goal is to use the provisioner to provide food. So I have this whole area to build in. Should probably plan on blocking this off. Thinking. I think this is where I will find the plywood door that I just deleted upstairs, and should have kept one of them. Hey, Angel. I'm glad that you made it here. Hope your weekend is off to a great start. Eventually we're going to need to worry about actual security at this location, because we do have that checkpoint nearby that apparently gets more firefights than I was thinking it would. If I'm not mistaken, we're not that far from some gunners as well. So we should be planning for security. Perhaps by having a guard station that extends over the sidewalk here, but can be approached from back here. Okay. How are we? We're actually kind of almost square on that. Holy cow. Not bad for just eyeball, but there we go. That's probably less square than when I just dropped it in. That actually feels... No, it's still not square, but wow, it's close. this one needs something a little bit more open for up here. Okay, that would make it easier for me to get it in place. Can go a little further forward. It's the barbed wire on the outside, because that's what I'm really going for. Needs to go a little bit. Oh, maybe I should just change those to slatted as well. Yeah, let's change those. Get rid of that. That. That makes more sense that something can be sticking through it. That only needs to come a little bit over to fit inside. There we have guard post. We're going to want to have some of the firepower from turrets on this street. Going to need a second guard post, I think. Will that snap centered on this? No, it's left or right. Okay. Willing to wager that this won't snap in. It'll snap to the back of the guard post. Interesting. I hear you, Codsworth. There you are. Okay, that's giving us some level of protection there. And I want to put a gate not chain link wire. I put something more substantial on the other side of it. Oh, almost sneezed directly into the microphone. That would have been a hearty how are ya. What are you snapping to there? Okay, it's not going to snap through. Not like it should. Or, it's not like it should be snapping through. I didn't want to make it sound like I thought that it would normally. How believable is this? It's fairly believable. Very, very New Englandy church. And I would love it if that was part of the build area. And I know I can get an extended mod to make it part of the build area. However, that would put the build area very close to that checkpoint across the way. And I don't want to have the checkpoint directly attacking the settlement on a regular basis. Yeah, Christian, if I didn't have a mute button that was easy to access, you guys would hear a lot more than just the occasional dog barking and cat asking for a second breakfast. That's a car. Okay, that car that I blew up over here and ended up scrapping, that blew off the car. And if I wanted to right now, I could fix the car with this piece. I'm amazed. I am truly amazed. Didn't I put and blow up a car right here? I really don't want traffic coming through this area. How does physics work on this, if at all? And I can't touch that car, but I can touch these down here. So let's move our pickup truck. it would reduce the traffic pattern. That's for sure. And that's probably the best I can hope for right there. But I'd prefer for this side to not have a number of people walking through. I imagine that we should have some kind of marketplace for people to buy things. We're assuming that people are going to come through the area looking for people and places, right? So a general trader is a source of happiness. A clinic. So let's explore what kind of footprint we can make back here. Just going to use the floor to give me some layout ideas. Now, we know that we don't want to be any less than in this corner. So we can put 2 floors in this corner. I'd like to have a central courtyard area free where this is a walkway that incorporates those 2 stairs and a central walkway to here. And we need to have a walkway back here for the guard to get up onto that guard post. But that gives us a lot of space. So if I was to build it couldn't be 4 deep, but it could be 3 deep here. Then how much on this side could we get away with? It's not really square, but I'm just exploring, so it's okay to be not square. I can do 3 deep on each side. That still gives us plenty of walk room here. It is a magical wasteland, Brookie. Hey, Goblin. Sorry if I missed you coming in. Hope you've been enjoying the show. It's a magical wasteland where a single door can be used to rebuild an entire car. Okay, so this right here having an entry. You have some stores on either side. We're going to want to block this off a little bit. And just to make it, I think that side's going to be the... This makes more sense as the walkthrough for people. Going to the bar and the armor shop. And then this side would be the more private side, where people who live and work here maybe come down in this area. This is how you get into your house. I can block off that door completely. Or I could block it off on this porch completely. And, then back here would be their private area where they could access their personal space. And we definitely want to get some elevation on this side. Although, is this... how... okay, if I did that... is that floating? It doesn't look like it's floating. How about this side? That's definitely not floating. So we could have easy access stores. And then here we want to be able to go to a second. I think I want to stay with a single-story building on this side. And on this side have a two-story. Okay, there's a floor piece with a stair in it. But that's got the second floor shack floor in it. And I don't think that that's going to work necessarily the way I want it to. But let's see. If I use the barn pieces, or the warehouse pieces, it will snap there, and it's okay to use that then, because that's where the problem's gonna be, though. It doesn't reach. I'm gonna have to use the barn stairs if I want to do that. So let's not use that piece. Let me guess, I'm progressively getting just slightly angled here. Okay, well, I still have a minuscule chance. Let's see if I can straighten this out. trying very hard not to go through the concrete. And it's not going to work the way I thought it might. Because when I do this, it goes right through the concrete. We can hide a myriad of sins, though. Because let's just put that there for now. Since I have to use the barn pieces anyway, how terrible does it look now? Looks better to me. And this gives us some more potential living space for folks who run the shops out here. I think they'd want the less damaged ones, the least damaged ones out front. Not care so much about the gaping hole and the one facing the rest of the settlement. I left a glowing mushroom down there, didn't I? The glow stayed. Isn't that wonderful? So this can go anywhere and just looks like regular old mushrooms without the glow. Well, they're green, but that gives us some support to keep that side open. Makes this a good spot for a, we can have a shop here and one here with a little gap in between so settlers can walk in and out and then go up to their private homes upstairs later. And of course it's dark again. But now I have a nice bed to sleep in. VG, happy Saturday to you. Thanks for stopping in. We love having you here. Okay, on this side, that's not actually a door. I wonder if it will make the step think it's a door, though. No, it doesn't need to think it's a door, because I apparently have turned off... Nope, it sees as a wall, so it won't try and snap. But that's okay. Because not trying to snap means... wasn't intended as a door, but the crafty settlers get to use it as one. Where is that light coming from? I have a feeling that that little sliver of light is actually coming through... Oh, there it is. Coming through that window. Wow. I thought it was coming through the solid wall. And if I'm not mistaken... Codsworth's left the gate open again. Still don't know why he's here. Let's get something going for them. I want them to have a nice view into the corner of the courtyard here. And I do like mixing and matching some of the barn and warehouse pieces because they do work so well together. If they're going to have private space over here, maybe they can have an open balcony here. Looking down on the courtyard. I mean, it's very boxy. But I think with the other shapes around it, it's working a little bit better than just being too boxy. If I put this That's too low. But I can definitely do that. Okay, there's two ways I could do a balcony here. But regardless of how I do it, it has to be supported. So let's see what I can manage. Okay, that one will snap. If I move that, I'm going to have to turn object snapping off to get that where I want it. That makes a little more sense with the placement of those posts anyway. Now, I like using these as fake supports. They're beefy. They're very scrappy looking. And I could see people just nailing boards up to try and brace things in the ugliest manner possible. Not because they want it ugly, but because it works enough. Never trusting a name again. That's in this game, that's not bad advice, King. As a matter of fact, in this game, if the name seems inviting, go the other way. Have to figure out something to block that top piece. Okay. Let's block off this edge and see if I have anything in the, That's right, I just remembered. How much trouble is it gonna give me to... I can just manually place these, and I think I will, because snapping them is gonna be a hassle. And snapping them is going to make them a little bit higher than I really want them anyway. Now let's see. Somewhere in here, there should be some wide boards just laying sideways. Like that. And that's more of a beam laying sideways, but you get my point. It's not wide enough. Do we have something wide? No, that's a stick. I don't need something that narrow. And those just stick up. Okay. So the quick answer is going to be, I can do this. And it's not going to quite cover the entire side, is it? One moment, folks. Sorry about that, guys. My wife was letting me know the check engine light came on in the car, and need to deal with that, but she's got it under control, so I don't need to deal with it, luckily. And we've got a fairly nicely built shop on this side. I think that the once this is built up into a pair of shops or a single shop, it'll be actually, yes, I figured it out. This is going to be where the clinic is located. The general clinic needs will be handled out here, and our doctor will live upstairs in a rather large space just for the doctor. And then this will be, you know, the general goods trader and maybe the armor shop, or the general goods and the weapon shop can set up on this side. I think the weapon shop guy is going to need to be fairly enclosed so he can lock his stuff up at night, but the general goods trader will have a little bit less security needs. I think that the combination of the late hour and the rainstorm is a good point to review what we're doing here, and then run back to Nordhagen and take down the stairs that I left behind. So, let's go over what we've done here today. First thing we did is we came in here and cleaned up the mess I left behind, because this is the place that I built the molecular relay. Once everything was cleaned up, we started to build. I ended up putting the generator up here on the roof. The turrets have been shifted over here while we're building. They'll probably end up going to a place that is on the outside edge of the settlement. Maybe take advantage of the exterior wall of the doctor's house and make it a put a turret stand out there on that street and one over next to the guard station. As you can see, there is work done over there, so let's go take a look. We cleaned up in here, left the living room kind of the way it is. I will replace this bookcase with a working bookcase if possible. And we cleaned up the bedroom, giving 3 full-size beds for future settlers to enjoy. There's 2 dressers, a bunch of nightstands. There is power, but I'm currently haven't put any lighting in this side. The rebuilding of this building, we rebuilt that exterior wall, put in a metal floor so that the armorer can do his work, and right here we have a couple of power armor frames for people to work on their power armor, and our armorer has his own right here that he can work on power armor. So he'll probably have a counter over here where he can do his sales from, and you know, he's got all the equipment he needs in here to do his work. Upstairs from the armorer we have a nice little bar and restaurant set up so that the people who come here to get their stuff worked on have a place to eat and drink. Spend a few more of their caps. All this would not be possible without the added textures that USO gives to the barn and warehouse tab. But I tried to keep using materials that are available in the area, so you might recall there was a large pile of bricks here where this wall and the second floor had come tumbling down. Well, that is what we decided to rebuild with here at Jamaica Plain. And of course, from out here, the building looks like it could have almost always been that way. From this side, we do not have any turrets down below. We do have those 2 turrets up there capable of supporting this area. We have a turret over here that's currently providing security on this side of the building. But that pretty much wraps up what we've put in place today. We experimented a little bit with the cars. I moved a car over here and blew it up, and it completely disappeared. So I moved this truck from down next to the building up here to create a bit of a roadblock. It's not a complete blockage because the build area ends right about where the nose of this car is. I'm going to see if I can place something obstructive here next week, because I'd like this to be a closed area where the residents come down here and do whatever it is they want to do. This is their access to their homes and their private space, whereas over on this side is the side where people come to, visitors can come through and go see the armorer, or go up and see the doctor, or do their shopping here. So now, we forgot to take down our, platform at Nordhagen before we left, so I'm going to go do that now. Brookie, I love bringing the stream to you. I appreciate you guys coming in and putting up with my lack of controller skills. And I hope that my building style is at least a little bit different from other people's. I do think that if you're thinking about what the structure is going to be before you start building, it turns out a little bit better. So I do hope that that comes across in the final product. And I showed up in time for a rad storm. Who the heck are you?
Yes?
Ah, Minuteman Recon. Oh, and you're wearing gas mask. Awesome. My lord, you guys are armed to the teeth.
General.
Awesome, guys. And you are the provisioner. Okay. Let's not work in the dark, but get out of this rad storm as well. Okay, the objects that need to go are up here. I'm so glad that I... No, not the stairs. Now the stairs. That's better. We no longer have the stairs to nowhere. And for those of you who weren't here last week, we have the Whale of a Tale tap house, thanks to Easy E's suggestion. At some point in the future, if people are interested, we can do a in-game walkthrough of the various places that I've built, where they're fully settled, where people are going about their business. But at this point, I would like to say thank you all very much for staying with me for the up to 3 hours you've been here. I hope that your Saturday has gone very well. For those of you over in Europe, I hope that your Sunday is starting out beautifully. I hope you're all well and that your families are as well. I hope that you take care of yourselves, take care of your families, and enjoy the rest of your weekend. I'll see you on Monday night for Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic 2.